Hello, I'm Mary Roberts. Today we're at Great Plains Health in North Platte, Nebraska. At Great Plains Health, there are 1,200 employees, 90 physicians, and more than 30 medical specialties. To work in healthcare, you need to have a passion for serving your community and making an impact on your patients. So let's get started on our healthcare careers tour. And as we get started at Great Plains Health, we're joined by Danny Franzen, Chief Operating Officer. Danny, can you tell us a little bit about Great Plains Health?
Great Plains Health is a local hospital. It's independent hospital, and we have lots of services here for our patients. We have a very recognized cancer center. We have heart casts, so we've reduced our mortality in our patients for those. We've got sports and therapy and a large rehab center for all of our athletes in the area as well. And we serve an area that's bigger than Pennsylvania, so it's quite an area that this hospital serves.
When you think of a hospital, you might first think of the labor and delivery floor and newborn babies, or you might think of the emergency room, but there really is so much more to it than that.
There is a lot more at Great Plains Health. We have a lot of services for a hospital that our size.
And Danny, you have really built your career here at Great Plains Health, and you started in the lab. Can you tell us about that?
I started with my local community college at Mid-Plains, and I graduated with an associate's degree out there, and I grew up in the lab. And after that, I went on to get my bachelor's degree in clinical laboratory science, and that allowed me to be a laboratory manager. And so I was a laboratory manager for several years, and then I went on to be a senior director of ancillary services, and that's all of those clinical areas that are not nursing. And I did that for a while I was obtaining my master's degree, moved into some physician services side, and now Chief Operating Officer. It's been a great career here at Great Plains Health.
And so we're actually in the lab right now. There are a lot of different career paths you can take here in the lab. So can you tell us about some of those jobs?
There is a lot of opportunity in the laboratory. If you don't want to go to college right away and you want to kind of see how this is, we have lab assistants, and they go out and draw blood, they collect specimens, and they get to really meet with the patients while they're collecting these specimens. And then we also have an associate's MLT and a bachelor's in clinical laboratory science. And you can work in 5 different departments here. If your niche is chemistry or microbiology and you love those classes, that's a great place to start in the laboratory.
So what kind of skills then do you need? What makes it a good fit for the lab?
I think you need attention to detail. You really need to pay attention to the details because you're giving the patient the results, you're giving the providers the results that they're making decisions on, and you need to be able to multitask and critically think because as you can see, we have a lot of instrumentation back here. And so if you like technology and you like science together, laboratory is the place to be.
It definitely sounds like an exciting place, and I'm excited to go to our next location now, so let's go.
All right.
And the next stop on our tour, information systems. Danny, can you tell me about what happens up here?
This is really where all of the work that we do in the clinical areas is done by the computers, all the documentation, all of the information that we use to take care of our patients here.
And tell me about, this is a non-clinical role up here in IS. Can you tell me what that means?
Non-clinical means that you are not directly taking care of the patient. So it would be information systems, HIM, health information management, coding, business office, all of those non-clinical areas that you're not taking care of the patient and you're supporting the people that are taking care of the patient.
And you mentioned HIM. Can you tell me what that is?
That's health information management. Most of those positions are coding. I'm sure lots of people have heard about coders. You also have a clinical documentation information specialist, and there's a lot of different opportunities that you can go in HIM.
So to take advantage of those opportunities, what kind of education do you need to have?
For HIM and coding, there's a lot of different education. You can do on-the-job training, you can do associate's degree and bachelor's degree. On-the-job training, they work for a year and then they have to take a coding certification. And some of these coders even work remotely if they can still work in healthcare but also work remotely if it works better for their life.
Kind of a nice perk there if you prefer to work from home and be a homebody.
Right.
So tell me a little bit now about the kind of skills or characteristics. What type of person do you need to be to kind of work in some of these non-clinical jobs?
For information systems, you need to have creativity. Obviously, you need to pay attention to detail. Everything in healthcare is very detail oriented. You need to look at processes. And for coding, it is not a patient-facing position. And so if you don't really want to be around a lot of people and you're really into the numbers and the detail and paying attention to all that, that's a great attribute for HIM.
Sounds like a great job for a problem solver.
Right.
All right, Danny, let's get going on our next location on the tour.
All right.
And for our next stop, we're in the Great Plains Health Pharmacy. Danny, what happens in the pharmacy?
This is an exciting place to work in the pharmacy. This is where we take care of all of our patients' medications. And there could be IV medications, there could be oral medications, there could be shots and injections. There's lots of different medications they take care of here in the pharmacy.
So you help make sure that all the patients on the floor get the medication they need when you work in the pharmacy.
Right, it's very important.
So what kind of education do you have to work in the pharmacy?
There's a lot of different types of education. We have on-the-job training for our pharmacy tech, and that is an on-the-job training for a year, and then you set for a certification. And then there's also a pharmacist, and that is a doctorate degree. And so there's a lot of opportunity here. They also do job shadowing for people that think they may want to be interested in the pharmacy.
And it could just be a great place to get your start in the healthcare field.
It could be. They get to go all over the hospital, so it's a great opportunity to see all the different types of careers in healthcare.
So do the people who work in pharmacy, do they have a lot of patient interaction, or are they behind the scenes? What does that look like?
There are some that are behind the scenes and some that have the patient interaction. So you get the best of both worlds in the pharmacy because you have to do both.
Sounds pretty exciting down here in the pharmacy. Let's go to our next location.
All right.
And the last stop on our tour today is in a clinical area of Great Plains Health. Danny, can you tell us where we are right now?
We are in the cardiac rehab gym. This is an exciting place to be for our patients. And as you can see, anybody that works in here is patient focusing.
So what does that mean to kind of be patient focused and clinical? What kind of skills do you have to have? What do you have to do?
You have to be able to explain the medical field to our patients. We have respiratory therapists in here, and that's one of the things that they have to do. Nursing. Patients that come in here have been through the cath lab with cardiac techs. There's just a lot of different pieces and parts that come together in this cardiac rehab gym.
And that's like healthcare. There are a lot of clinical roles out there where you're engaging with people in different kinds of specialties.
Yes, this encompasses all of those degrees, whether it's an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, you get all of those clinical degrees in these types of areas.
So what do you think are the most important skills for people to have when they're here?
I think the most important skills, you have to be able to multitask. You've got to be quick on your feet because patients' conditions change, and you need to know what you need to do quickly in those areas.
Definitely an exciting place here, Danny. Thank you so much for this incredible tour at Great Plains Health. It's been a blast. If there are students watching who want to learn more about Great Plains Health and some of the opportunities here, what should they do?
Call our HR department. We have a great recruiter, and she can set you up with job shadowing. You can go all over the hospital and see all of the different clinical areas that you might want to be in. And if you've already graduated, call our recruiter, and we have tech assistant positions open that allows you to get paid and get to be all over the hospital to find out where your niche is in our healthcare system.
A perfect way to learn more about healthcare.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for the tour, Danny.
Thank you.